Have you ever witnessed a moment so perfectly executed that it left the other person completely speechless? A moment where the hunter became the hunted, the trapper became the trapped. That's exactly what happened during a high-stakes primetime interview, when a well-known left-leaning TV host thought she could corner Donald Trump with personal questions about his marriage. She was convinced she had the perfect plan, a strategy that would expose him, humiliate him, and leave him scrambling for answers. But instead, what unfolded was a masterclass in composure, wit, and the power of words. And by the end of it, the host wasn't just defeated, she was destroyed. But before we dive into this unbelievable exchange, let me ask you, where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. The anticipation was electric. The cameras rolled, the stage lights beamed, and millions of viewers across the country leaned in. This wasn't just another interview, this was a battle, and both sides knew it. The host, famous for her sharp and often aggressive questioning style, had spent weeks preparing for this moment. Her strategy was simple but ruthless. Start soft, lull Trump into a false sense of security, then hit him with the knockout blow. His marriage. She believed she had figured him out. She was wrong. "Mr. Trump," she began, her voice smooth, calculated. "You've built an empire, led a country, and influenced millions. Would you say your success is simply luck?" Trump leaned forward slightly, locking eyes with her. A small smirk played on his lips. "Luck," he repeated, his voice steady. "That's an interesting word. Liberals love that word. They use it to downplay achievement, to suggest that hard work doesn't matter." He let the words sink in before continuing. "But let me tell you something. Luck doesn't build skyscrapers. Luck doesn't create jobs. And luck certainly doesn't make America great." The host's polished smile flickered, but she quickly recovered. She wasn't about to back down. "So you're saying everything you've accomplished is solely due to hard work?" she pressed. Trump's smirk widened. "I'm saying success belongs to those who earn it. Yes, I've had opportunities, but I've also worked harder than most people can imagine. Sleepless nights, impossible deals, constant pressure. But here's the thing." He paused, tilting his head slightly. "I never did it alone." The host's eyes gleamed. She saw her opening. "Not alone?" she pounced. "Let's talk about that. Who are the people behind Donald Trump?" Trump didn't miss a beat. "You're probably thinking of my business partners, my advisors," he said, his tone measured. "But let me tell you who really deserves the credit, my family, especially Melania." And just like that, she had the conversation exactly where she wanted it. The host's expression barely concealed her excitement. "Yes, Melania," she said, her voice dripping with feigned curiosity. "Many people wonder about her role. Some say she's unusually reserved for the wife of such a powerful man." The air in the studio shifted. Trump's expression remained composed, but there was a sharpness in his gaze now. "Quiet?" he countered, "or dignified? There's a big difference, though I can see why some in the media might struggle to understand that." A low chuckle rippled through the audience. The host's posture stiffened, but she pressed forward. "Well, what I mean is, we rarely hear from her, unlike other political wives who are much more visible. Don't you think the public has a right to know more about the woman standing beside Donald Trump?" Trump didn't even blink. His response was razor sharp. "The public already knows what they need to about Melania. She's intelligent, accomplished, and deliberate in choosing when to speak." Unlike some people, he glanced briefly at the host, who felt the need to fill every silence with noise. The audience erupted in applause. The host's smile tightened. She wasn't used to losing control like this. But instead of backing off, she doubled down. "Let's talk about those accomplishments," she said, her tone shifting. "Some wonder if her greatest achievement is simply being Mrs. Donald Trump." A hush fell over the room. Even the cameramen exchanged glances. Everyone knew something big was about to happen. Trump's expression hardened, his voice unwavering. "Let me make something very clear," he said. If you want to talk about achievements, let's stick to the facts. Melania built her own successful career. She's represented this country with more grace and dignity than any First Lady in recent history. He let that statement linger before delivering the final blow. But you wouldn't know that, would you? Because the mainstream media is too busy pushing their own version of events. The host's confidence wavered, but she made one last desperate attempt. Wouldn't you agree that being married to you has given her certain advantages? Trump let out a short, humorless laugh. You know what's fascinating about that question? It shows exactly what's wrong with the way some people think about success. It's not about which doors open for you, it's about what you do once you're inside. He leaned forward, his voice measured. And Melania? She doesn't just walk into a room, she transforms it. The audience roared. The host, clearly flustered now, refused to give up. She tried one last gamble. "Let's cut to the chase," she said, her voice gaining an edge. "You're a wealthy, powerful man. You could be with any woman you choose. Yet you remain with someone who's aging alongside you. Have you never considered upgrading?" Gasps filled the room. Trump's expression turned to steel, his voice suddenly quieter but filled with unmistakable authority. "Upgrading," he repeated. "Let me explain something about value. In business, sure, sometimes you trade up, you look for a newer model, a shinier option. But this isn't about property or cars. This is about my wife, my partner, the mother of my son." He leaned in, his voice now carrying an undeniable weight. "Real value is someone who stands by you when the cameras stop rolling. Real value is someone who tells you the truth when everyone else just tells you what you want to hear. Real value is loyalty, integrity, and character, qualities that clearly aren't taught in journalism school anymore." The host's face went pale. She tried to recover. "I didn't mean to imply—" "Oh, but you did," Trump cut in. "And that's the problem with the mainstream media today. You chase controversy, not truth. You create shadows where none exist." He turned directly to the camera. "And let me tell you what real relationships are about. It's not about convenience or perfection. It's about loyalty, commitment, and standing by each other through every storm. So no, I've never considered seeking something better because there is nothing better than Melania." The studio erupted. The host sat there, stunned, as the interview wrapped up. And by the time the cameras shut off, it was clear this so-called gotcha moment had backfired spectacularly. Within hours, the internet was ablaze. And for the host, it would go down as the interview that ended her credibility for good. This story teaches us a powerful lesson about integrity, loyalty, and the importance of standing by the people who truly matter. In a world where superficiality often takes precedence over substance, Trump's response reminds us that real value isn't about appearances or fleeting status. It's about character, commitment, and respect. It also highlights how media narratives can be shaped by bias. But truth and confidence can dismantle even the most well-crafted traps. More than anything, it's a reminder that true strength lies in knowing what and who really matters. Do you think public figures should be questioned about their personal lives? Or should interviews focus more on their professional work? If you were in Trump's position, how would you have handled those personal questions? Would you have stayed calm and composed like he did? Or would you have pushed back harder to protect your privacy? If you enjoyed the story and found it meaningful, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps us reach more people. We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and the lessons you've learned in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone.